My name is Dakota Franson. I know I'm not starting out this episode like I normally would. And that is intentional. As some of you may know, I've just gotten back from a really amazing trip in China. And I was gonna cry like this, not this early. And I wanted to take this opportunity to take a moment to reflect on this. Kind of say some things I wanted to say, but didn't get much of a chance to while I was over there. Kind of talk about the trip overall. In the next couple days, a full-on video version of this broadcast will be posted online. It would include some of the pictures I took while I was over there. So to get started, I guess I should get started on how this all came to come together. Back when I was, it was the last semester of high school, senior year. Looking forward to graduating, maybe going to college, and maybe getting a job. I'm sorry, just hold on a sec. I was excited, to move on to my life, being able to start setting up something so that way I can make sure there's no worries as I got older. Try to become successful at what I do. Try to try out some new things. And something I've always wanted to do, an opportunity came up in a letter I received from one of my teachers. So immediately I was excited and a little curious because this particular teacher, screw it, he still is my favorite out of all of high school. He said that I was nominated amongst about 100 other students from my school to take a trip to China. Of course, I was very excited for this, once I read the letter, because I'd never gotten to go anywhere really. The only real places I've been are Jackpot, Nevada, Salt Lake City, Utah, Boise here in Idaho, and a long time ago, Denver, Colorado. So being able to go to another country, being able to get started on my dream to travel the world, it was really exciting. And honestly, I knew times were kind of tough. So immediately, I didn't think that I was going to be able to really go. But I ended up going to the discussion meeting to find out more information about it. As far as what would we be doing, what would be the cost, all the good stuff like that. Sure enough, my mother signed me up. And I told her that I wanted to go on this trip so bad. I would do what I can to try to help pay it off. Because I kind of felt bad. Didn't really like the idea of her paying the whole trip. And she wasn't really going. I felt that since I was the one going, I should contribute to a good chunk of the money at least. So, right after high school, I got a job. Was able to pay off a little more than half of the package. And I was able to pay it off early. So I was pretty much set to go. And we went through getting the passport and the visa and all that together. Try to think of ideas on how to make packing my big old clothes easier. And we did it. March came around. March 22nd came around. And now found myself in a hotel room that morning. My heart practically beating out of my chest. I'm getting ready to hop on a plane and go to China. No, wait. Trying to hold out, but I'm doing horribly. Okay. The flight went out. I met up with a very nice family. A few not really nice families on the way because we had our connecting flights were kind of jarred a bit. A little messed up, but we got through it. We got to China. We got to landed in Beijing on the 23rd. So we've been technically stuck in the air for a little over a day, considering the time difference. This whole time, my heart still beating out of my chest. So nervous, so excited for this really amazing opportunity. Beijing happened. We all met up in Beijing. Tired for the most part, but we made it. And met up with another group of students from California. And another parent. And we go from going on the Great Wall to Forbidden City, Tiananmen Square. We had so much packed in that first day. So much packed in for Beijing. We visit Olympic Park and took pictures of some of the most amazing architecture I've ever seen. The food in the hotel was awesome. I had a really cool, really decent guy for a roommate. Thankfully, the teacher that arranged this trip was also fluent in Chinese, because a little sidetracked at the airport when they saw that it was hot on the plane, and I got real sweaty, and they thought I was sick. It kind of looked like I was a little worried at first, but when I realized that they saw that I was getting pretty hot, and once I put together that they thought I was sick, I realized that it was the whole Ebola scare. Anyway, Beijing was amazing. The food was amazing. Then about after 3 days, we flew to Xi'an. Now, there was something that kind of happened. In fact, we're all calling it, well, I started calling it, and everybody else really seemed to really like the idea. We're calling it the Xi'an Incident. Basically, all of a sudden, all that day, while we were flying into Xi'an, we all got really, really sick. See, there was about 26 of us in the group, if I remember correctly, and roughly 9 of us got really sick on the plane. Of course, being that it's international travel, we all kind of expected somebody to be getting sick. In fact, that whole day, there was one girl who got sick before us. We all just assumed that it was culture shock. But then, we all started severely vomiting on the plane before we even landed. The turbulence kind of set us off. One by one, we quickly fell like dominoes, and we just couldn't stop. Things got really messy really quick. It was a miracle that we even got off the plane. Most of us, we were able to get out off the plane and get out of the airport fairly quickly, but there were 2 of us. Excuse me for a sec. There were 2 of us that were worse off than the rest. And I was one of those 2. In fact, the entire group was pretty much betting that I wouldn't have been able to make it out of the airport alive for how bad I was. I don't really want to go into too much detail about what all happened, because I'm still kind of feeling a little nauseous from it. Probably go away in a couple days once I get recalibrated back to my own time zone. But eventually, in fact, things got even scarier. What seemed like very quickly. They saw how bad the 2 of us were, and 2 of us that got real sick. And the decision was made to take all of us who were sick to a Chinese hospital to get checked out. I warn you now, the details I'm about to share are very graphic. They're very disturbing. Being that even though China is a very populated country, it is still considered developing. So this hospital, we all got taken to this hospital, and I'm just gonna say this right now before I continue. If you ever get the opportunity to go to China, go. Don't fall for, oh, it's a communist country, there's all sorts of rules and all that, yada, blah, blah, blah. It's a very beautiful country. The people there are so nice, for the most part. You'll hear why I say for the most part here in a couple seconds, but if you ever go to China, don't get sick. I'm about to tell you why. This hospital, oh my God. If I want to give a shout out right now to the parents of the groups that were there with us, who helped us out, helped us get everything paid for, and made sure we got to where we needed to be and stayed as far upright as we could. But and I also want to give a huge shout out to our tour guides, for basically helping trying to help us out, find out where we needed to go, because this hospital did not give a shit about us. It did not care anything about the people that were coming in. We had to pay once just to get checked in. Then we had to pay again because the computers weren't able to handle the English language very well. In fact, many of us had to go by our middle names. Myself included. We had to go run up and down, we had to run up some stairs to go do blood work. For those of you in the U.S., maybe Europe, you have the nurse, you go sit down at the doctor's office, you have a nurse or somebody come in, take your blood, done. They find the veins, suck the blood, and move on, and get it to where it needs to be. This hospital, we did not do that. In fact, when we came in, they actually started yelling at us, saying, "Oh no, you all can't be sick. All 9 of you cannot be sick with the exact same thing." Yes, we were. There were just a couple of us who were worse. I'm sorry, this hospital experience was really scary. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We actually, instead of actually having somebody come up, take her blood, do what they needed to do, we actually had to go up to this tiny, what looked like a booth, like a ticket booth or something you find at the bank teller, and you had to stick your arm through a window and have them constantly beat up your arm because they can't find jack shit for veins. And here's one of the disturbing parts. There were people there, other people who were sick, who literally tried to sit on our laps as we were getting our blood drawn. In fact, a friend of mine, he was halfway passed out. There was this Chinese man who literally tried sitting on his lap, and if his mother hadn't have been there, I'm pretty sure he would have lost that vein. he would have a huge scratch from the needle being drugged through his skin. Oh wait, man, I'm running out of time. Oh wait, I should fast forward. Then once we got all the blood situated out, we actually had to pay in order to get the medicine we needed, with nurses that didn't even know how to work freaking needles. And my God, this hospital was so filthy. We could not get on the ground. It's like, I actually kept passing out, and from one of the times I would hear something and jerk myself awake. My IV actually came out of my hand, and it was just squirting all over my hand until somebody happened to say something. And they put it in my other hand, and that hand's got a huge bruise. Kind of looks like it has a bruise trying to set in. But we took the following morning, because we flew into Xi'an. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We didn't get to go back to our hotel till almost 2 o'clock the next morning. And the tour guides, they were so awesome. The group, Educational First Tours, EF Tours, huge shout out to y'all for being so understanding and so helpful through this mini epidemic that we had. They were helpful in making sure we got to where we needed to be. They helped us get out of there. In fact, they were nice enough to let us, those of us who were still sick, kind of try to sleep it off the next morning, which we did. And most of us actually started feeling better afterwards. But then after Xi'an, we visited the Terracotta Warriors. Then we flew to Shanghai. All of us nervous about that, but that went well. Shanghai, we had an awesome shopping experience, and it was also where we had to, say goodbye. Now that I think about it, I don't think a video for this would be so good for how unscripted it is. But anyway, I'll still make a video once we get pictures all collaborated, guys. And maybe include this one last message. Even though our time was short, this is actually something. Alright, I know I kind of jump around, I'm sorry, but I only have a little over 6 minutes left, so I kind of want to end this with something I was wanting to say back while we were still in China, but didn't really find the time or much of the strength to do so. And I would like to start off with something that one of the parents happened to say. He said that he made a very good point to the rest of us. If it wasn't for what happened at Xi'an, we wouldn't have bonded as much as we did. I know I've gotten a little closer with a lot of the group, and I even got the one person that the other person that was also just as sick as I was, that was helping me keep pushing on. I got her a little something that I saw that she happened to be eyeballing as kind of a goodbye, best wishes kind of gift. I know some of the group may have interpreted as something else, and to be honest, if something more had come out of this, I wouldn't have been against it, you know. This other person, they were amazing, you know, real cool, real kind, a bunch of traits that, you know, she was also kind of quirky, which I just found cute, because, you know, she was being herself. After seeing her and Xi'an, you know, seeing her happy after that, it was nice. You know, she kept pushing me forward, so that's why I got her kind of a last minute gift. You know, sorry I couldn't give it to you face to face, but to be truthful, I kind of almost forgot. But all in all, for the group as a whole, I know some of you have been more of a globetrotter than I have been so far. But the amazing things that have happened on this trip, the kindness and the generosity and the concern that you all had, that we all have for one another. I've actually started thinking many of you as, you know, family. No, family. I've started thinking of you all as family. You know, which I've been crying so much just because I'm gonna miss y'all. You know, y'all have heard of all of my crazy adventures. There is one piece of philosophy that this trip and all of you have kind of confirmed, is that the destination is never what makes a trip great. It's actually the people you go with and the things you do that make the trip great. I'm never gonna forget any you all. I really hope that we meet again soon. You know, feel free to, you know, buy some of my books, you know. Take a little piece of me with you. Take the Buddha with you. That was another thing for those of you who weren't with me. The Chinese literally treated me like Buddha. So, I know I'm kind of running out of time. I really wish I had more time available for this, but like I said, thank you for this. If you can understand me, thank you for this amazing trip. I hope to see you all again